Our reading is from Matthew chapter 5, verses 1 to 12. We are reading from the New Revised Standard Version.
When Jesus saw the crowds, he went up to the mountain, and after he sat down, his disciples came to him. And he began to speak and taught them, saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven. For in the same way that they persecuted the prophets who were before you." Listen to what the Holy Spirit is telling us today.
May the words we receive inspire us, comfort us, and challenge us. Amen.
Okay, so we are gathered today on a Sunday to receive the blessing of God. Is it right to say that? I believe tama, right? As we all know, hindi recommended makipaglandian dito sa ating church to keep this space safe. So since Ekes na ang isa sa mga motivation ng mga akla, which is lumande, assume ko na talaga na we are here today to receive the blessing of God. So just a quick reflection, have we ever experienced a time where we claim that we are blessed? Yung time na sobrang high kasi blessed, we can just say hashtag feeling blessed and then post natin sa social media. Meron ba? Meron ba naka-experience sa inyo ng ganon?
Hindi ako nag-blessed kasi sabi ng pastor, tsakay.
Pero dati, before MC
Mag-open mo. Kaming character naman po.
Meron man o wala, it has been a common struggle for us queers that people will regard us as a disgrace. In a traditional family setting, some queer kids are regarded as malas. And in the society, queers are regarded as abominations. Usually, pag may balita sa social media about LGBT, the comment section will have statements na babagyuhin daw, magkakaroon daw ng natural disaster kasi nagagalit si Lord. Pero aware naman sila about climate change, which are caused by irresponsible human activities towards nature. Diba? Pero I guess talagang mas madali sa society to blame certain groups like us. So marami sa ating queer individuals who are affected by this kind of prejudice and misinformation na nagiging discriminated, treated unfairly in their homes, schools, and workplaces, ending maraming bakla, depressed, bothered, anxious, disturbed, and kung ano na pa synonym. Pero what if there's actually a blueprint na pwede natin gamitin para ma-reclaim natin ang blessedness and then uplift ourselves towards pure happiness? So, do you want to know more?
Ayaw na no.
So, for only $9, charis. Joke lang. Walang bayad to. So, I present to you the Beatitudes. So, which is from Latin, beatus, meaning happy or fortunate. So even Gandhi, who is not a Christian, approved of this. He was moved by the sermon of Jesus in the Mount. Marami pang sinabi si Jesus, pero Beatitudes ay ang introduction to his sermon. So listen as this tells us that even a group of people like us, queers who are afflicted people in the society, are actually blessed. So the first beatitude, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Okay, so when we look at ourselves, we have a sort of pride in our status so that we can regard ourselves highly. Kasi nga, di ba, it makes us relevant. Kung pak na pak yung title, power, or kung malaki yung sahod natin. Also, specifically sa ating mga kabaklaan, we feel like if we have a partner, we are wanted, or pag maraming booking, we feel like we're winning. That's the kind of pride we instill in ourselves. Okay naman yun. When we are proud of, okay naman when we are proud of the things that we become or what we have achieved. Ang mali is when these things make us arrogant and will it down on others, especially on our LGBTQI plus siblings, kung meron tayong ganito. The first beatitude teaches us to be humble despite our titles, social status, and present life conditions. We must see ourselves not defined by titles, achievements, and social standing. Huwag naman mag-feel haggard kung walang job. Or walang booking, or walang high social status. Carry lang yan. For with or without these titles or achievements, we are already of value in the eyes of God. Once we realize our true value, we can then give an honest appraisal of ourselves. Acknowledging our limitations and that we are dependent on God and all good things come from God. So, second beatitude, blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. As the first beatitude established as being poor in spirit, we are nothing despite our social status. We recognize this reality and we mourn and are saddened by it. The second beatitude is not only about our own sorrows from our own realities, but also the sorrows of others. Yung unjust realities ng iba, people who are vulnerable, people who are literally poor and are hungry, people who are discriminated against, and people who are marginalized. Without mourning the afflictions in ourselves and the things around us, we cannot muster the guts to struggle, the courage to work for the change, or the resolve to undergo the process of healing. To mourn, magluksa, is one of the signs of being human. May pakiramdam pa tayo, hindi lang para sa ating mga sarili at sariling problema, pero pati na rin sa mga pagsubok, pait at dusa ng ating kapwa. Kung hindi natin kayang magluksa, para magiging out of touch na lang tayo kung gano'n. Correct? Third beatitude, blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. The call to meekness is not a call to weakness, but a call to gentleness and humility. In embracing this beatitude, we discover the strength that comes from inner calm and the ability to resolve conflicts with grace. It's like one of the traits na tinatry nating i-establish dito sa MCC. Right? We need to be warriors of justice, and we have to do it in a graceful and gentle way. Kasi parang tingin sa atin ng mga tao as LGBT, parang violente, parang wireless sa social media. So, we can be firm and unwavering sa ating mga commitments, principles, at mga pinaglalaban, pero hindi sa paraang, violente at pambubugi wonderland. We should be decisive, but dahan-dahan, and also calculated. Fourth, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. As queers, who were recipients of injustice and discrimination in our childhood, we have innate longing for justice and righteousness to be treated with basic respect and civility, equality under the law, and given space to live like everyone else. The fourth beatitude encourages us to actively pursue what is right and just for ourselves and for others. By doing so, we not only satisfy our hunger, but also become fulfilled because we are contributing and participating to a more equitable world. So, anyone na woke dyan, you are blessed. Tama yan. I'm learning from this especially kasi I consider myself woke. Pero, yun nga, I need to remember na hindi dapat galit na woke. So, para double blessings, kailangan maging gentle rin. Yes. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. That's the fifth beatitude. So, sa mundo natin ngayon, marked by judgment and unforgiveness, the call to mercy is a powerful reminder of our humanity. When we extend compassion and forgiveness to others, we create a ripple effect. Ripple effect. It's a ripple effect of healing and reconciliation. So, tayo mga queer, experiencing trauma, that's usually most of us, we are usually filled with anger towards the people who oppress us. Like me, I end up being critical to myself and set up high expectation. Pero, we should be practicing merciful to people around us and especially to ourselves. Ang habag na ating willing ibigay or extend sa iba ay ang habag na ating tatanggapin. Hopefully. Pero hindi naman to madali or mabilis. It is hard to forgive those who have hurt you, especially those who have hurt you from your childhood. Kasi 'di ba, that's our stepping stones. Equally, it is also hard to forgive ourselves when we know we have committed a mistake or wrong decision, or when we are the one who has hurt someone we love. That will take time, and we acknowledge that. Forgiveness and patience for our friends and co-workers. Forgiveness and patience sa jowa mo, kung may jowa ka. Kung wala, sige, discard mo yan. Forgiveness and patience sa MCC community, lalo na sa ilang mga nakakalokang mga akla na pasaway or kakaiba, like me. While we cannot really solve everyone's problems and traumas because none of us are psychotherapies, si Iris lang siguro. We must remember that as a church and as individual follower of Jesus, we have to practice mercy, compassion, kindness, and the hardest of them all, forgiving others and our own selves. Sixth beatitude. Thus are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. A pure heart is one unburdened by hatred, prejudice, and negativity. The sixth beatitude challenges us to cleanse our hearts and minds from eternalized hatred, eternalized homophobia, internalized transphobia. So everything internalized. Pure heart means our motivations and intentions are not selfish or have no ulterior motives. Also, pure heart is a heart that has nothing to do with falsehood. So, sa mga ginagawa ba natin today, are they motivated with genuine and honorable intentions? Is it just because we want to fit in, sumabay sa uso, gusto natin na marami tayong post sa social media, doing advocacy para magkapera or to do networking? We need to ask ourselves, why are we doing these things? Is it for God's glory? When we have clear and genuine intention for the things that we do, we align ourselves with the truth of God. And since ang bait-bait mo and pure mo, tapos talagang pure heart ka, you will see God. Kasi, kukunin ka na niya. Sabi daw, Moses asked to see God's glory. Moses asked to see God's glory. The Lord said, no man can see him and live. So maybe we can balance our intentions to ourselves for our own betterment, not in a greedy way, and also to serve our community and God's glory. Seventh beatitude. Thus are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. So the pursuit of peace is mahirap, right? A peacemaker is a person who helps others to solve a conflict and reach a peaceful solution. And they are individuals na hindi nagsashy away from root problems. We have to appreciate them for being brave kasi with these people, they're really in a vulnerable position. And usually nakakita natin to in our modern day, which are activists. They're the peacemakers who are fighting for everyone's rights, aiming to an equitable society. However, the reality today, napaka-vulnerable nila in a sense na they're being put into a bad narrative. Some pinagtatawanan, and worse, they're killed. Let us give our gratitude and support to our activists because they're struggling for genuine peace and reconciliation based on true forgiveness, mutual respect, and fair treatment of all based on truth. And also, let us aim to be peacemakers to ourselves. Resolving our own conflicts and achieving our own peace can also contribute to a world with lesser conflicts. 8. Beatitude. Ito na yung last. Blessed are those who are persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. The final beatitude reminds us that living a life of righteousness may invite challenges and even persecution. So, as per the 7th beatitude, the Greek word used and translated to righteousness is also meaning the word justice. So yung beatus rin actually, aside from happy and fortunate, it's also derived with justice. And here at MCC, we proclaim and affirm the love of God towards the queers. We are progressive and continue to speak up for social justice issues. Kita naman sa ating pinagsasabi every Sunday sa social media. People will say na we are wrong, judging us na we are doing this kasi syempre nagmamagaling, feeling righteous, pasosyal, nasa Annapolis Wilshire. And that we're just interpreting the Bible to our own convenience. Minsan nga, kapwa nating queers, may sinasabi ring hindi maganda sa atin when we uphold and speak about our rights. No matter how general public sees us, we are reaffirmed by the 8th beatitude that these challenges are not in vain. They are an affirmation of our commitment to the principles of love, justice, and righteousness, and they ultimately lead us closer to the kingdom of heaven. Pero wag naman, soon. To wrap up this sermon, I invite everyone to rejoice, even if the society is looking at our efforts as false and not true to the work of Jesus. That's fine. That's a given. Some people are just not at that level of understanding. We need to look at the common denomination of the Beatitudes as it tells us that for us to be truly happy, we have to harness the power of humility, compassion, purity of hearts through sincerity, and peace building for ourselves and others. Maybe all this time you don't really feel happy kasi you are too focused on your own self-healing. Na lahat na lang ng kulang sa'yo ay dapat ma-address para ma-happy ka. Kailangan magka-jowa, kailangan may latest gadgets, kailangan may makapag-travel. Own this, experience that, taste this, feel that, char. Pero yes, you deserve all these things. Pero baka hindi natin nare-realize na may mas malalim pa at makabuluhan na happiness based on Beatitudes. Maybe we can try to take a different approach to being happy and recognize that it's not really just about us. We need to take charge of ourselves. Huwag kang mapadala sa bandwagon guide na sinasabi ng iba para maging happy. Also, as per science, altruistic behaviors can release endorphins in the brain and boost happiness. Sundin natin ang Beatitude and be a catalyst for a positive change, not only for ourselves, but to the world. RuPaul said, if you can't love yourself, how can you love somebody else? Yes, challenge to look for others when we are busy focusing on ourselves. But if you can find the right balance and follow the 8 Beatitudes, blessings will pour into you, and I guarantee you, you will be truly happy.